Jughead, a scruffy stray dog, roamed the deserted alleys, his ribs visible beneath his matted fur. Hunger gnawed at his empty stomach, urging him to continue his desperate search for anything edible. As the night deepened, Jughead's keen sense of smell led him to a promising scent. His nose twitched as he followed the aroma, guiding him to an unexpected treasure, a large plastic jar of cheese balls carelessly discarded on the pavement. The tantalizing scent of the cheesy remnants was too much for the starving dog to resist. Driven by hunger, Jughead thrust his snout into the jar, relishing the remaining crumbs clinging to the sides. The pleasure was short-lived, however, as the plastic container proved to be a trap. Panic set in as Jughead struggled, his head stuck within the unforgiving confines of the jar. He whimpered, helpless and trapped in the darkness. Days passed, and Jughead's plight worsened. The plastic prison on his head denied him the basic necessities of life. He couldn't eat, couldn't drink, and the world around him became a muffled symphony of distant sounds. The once proud dog now stumbled blindly through the alleys, a pathetic figure in search of a miracle. One fateful day, a local letter carrier, on her daily rounds, spotted Jughead's pitiful state. Concerned, she immediately reported the trapped dog to the local animal rescue service. When the rescuers arrived at the reported location, however, Jughead was nowhere to be found. Determined to help, they set up a humane trap, but Jughead, with the plastic jar restricting his senses, eluded their efforts. It seemed the very thing meant to save him had become an unintended shield against rescue. Undeterred, a compassionate local resident named Nikki Bell rallied a small group to aid in the search. Under the dim glow of flashlights, they combed the streets and alleys, calling out to the invisible victim. Hours passed before Jughead was discovered, huddled in the shadows of a garage. Fearful and weakened, he recoiled from the approaching humans, his trust shattered. Capturing the frightened dog required patience and gentleness. With skill and determination, the rescuers coaxed Jughead into their care. They took him to a clinic where he was sedated, and the oppressive plastic jar was finally removed. 11 days of silent suffering had come to an end, and Jughead's resilience had prevailed. The community, touched by his ordeal, rallied together to find him a loving home.